welcome, returning listeners. Hey, we appreciate you, new listeners. Welcome to the Man Cave. Kick back and relax, man. What's up? Appreciate y'all joining us. It's me, Cedric Edison, and I'm here with my co-host, man, one of the baddest dudes I know on this planet. I get to call him my friend, y'all, Mr. Ron Servant. What's up, man?
Man, we just had kind of a pre-conversation before we got on live here, and then you just spoke now, and I was just kind of feeling that vibe from last week when we spoke to Juan, but just kind of the chilling in the cave, and how that whole experience just kind of brought a little new experience, because we're all kind of like, hey, we're here, this is us, this is what we're doing. And it seems like kind of carried over to today, and just feeling good, just feeling really grounded, feeling present, feeling just really connected to the topic that you proposed, because this is something that I've really, kind of been, either looking for more of in my life, or just, kind of understanding more and more about the possibilities of it. So, but just, again, as we always say, and I know this sounds like a broken record, but just this space, loving this, this commitment that we've had with each other in our friendship, putting this podcast out there, creating content, not knowing how that impacts you, the listener, but knowing at the very least how it impacts us as men, and just how we're able to connect in a way where we don't just look at our lives as being the status quo, or just being that, and we talk about this is it, right? It's like, no, there's no default life, right? We're writing our story as we check in here, as we live our lives, as we try to move into these areas of our life that are sometimes dark, sometimes insightful, sometimes they're scary. Sometimes we're scared shitless, and we don't know what we can do as men to move through it. So I think I just love this space, love our commitment to this, love you, the listener, whether you pop in for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and just love the fact that people are willing to share with others about what we're doing here, in hopes that maybe some insightful things that we talk about might help move somebody slightly forward in their life. So feeling good, feeling grounded, feeling connected, and just love being in the space with the said cat.
Oh man, that's what's up. I appreciate you, man. Love you, man. So y'all, man, Ron kind of hinted at it a little bit, man, in our pre-conversation, and this honestly, for me, a lot of times when I propose a topic to Ron for the show, is like probably something I just came out of, or I'm dealing with, honestly. And it's every now and then something I'll probably just recently coached somebody through. But tonight, man, I just kind of, it was on me, man, just about abundance, and it really hit me hard this morning, after meditation, it just popped up, and it was just one of those things, and you meditate, you turn me on to it, and just those thoughts around it that just kind of came up, like, man, what is abundance, and how can you even have it? Like, because you got to know what it is, and you, in order to go after it, right? Just all of that stuff around abundance. So that's what I kind of wanted to talk about with my boy in the cave today, man, and bring to y'all. So, I mean, with that, Ron, like, talk to me a little bit.
Yeah. I think so much of my life, I didn't really pay attention to what abundance even meant. I think there's probably things that I experienced that, if I look back on, that were, kind of, variations of that. But for me now in my life, I just feel that there's opportunities for us to experience abundance in all areas of our life. And I think sometimes we minimize what things we think that we're, I wouldn't say capable of, but maybe worthy of. And what I mean by that is, we all should have a sense that we need love in our life. We want abundance of, we want to feel that immense, overwhelming, joyful feeling of love and the abundance that goes along with that. We want connection. We want, those things in our life where we feel connected to ourselves, to others, to that which is greater in our life, connected to our family, connected to the people that in our life that have meaning, to us. But there's also, we talk about money, and, there's that sometimes the reluctancy to look at how money is something that, can be very impactful on our lives in a good way or in a bad way. But I feel for me that money is something that, to have a conversation with money, I don't feel like it's something that I feel like I have to chase. I don't feel like it's something that I feel like is unreachable, or something that's not, not available to me. I almost feel that what's more important to me is just to lead with my heart, to do these things that I'm passionate about, and that all these other things that I would like to have more abundance of in my life, money, connection, love, they're a result of my willingness to kind of put all of myself out there, to serve others, to really step into that part of me that I feel so connected to, as far as this willingness just to be that person that is obviously whole myself, but also that sharing that wholeness with others without any type of holding back. And I think that's, for me, abundance is just evolved into so much more meaningful, conversation and experience, because letting go of some of those, those things that sometimes we can have that stereotypical thought around money, or, even love, right? I mean, am I worthy? Should I have this feeling that I should be, experience all this love that I feel in my life? Yeah. I mean, I think that's something that I think we all should look at, all areas of our life, and how we create abundance and open ourselves up for that to flow into our life. Because I think we can, like we can do anything else, we can create those barriers or roadblocks that don't allow that flow of abundance to be available to us, whether it's, I'm not worthy of it, I'm not good enough, all these, thoughts of not, that are, keep us back from moving forward in our life. And I think that's where, if we want abundance in life, we should be open to all the things that life has to offer. But we have to be mindful of those things that we put in front of our, in our life, that keeps us from having or experiencing those things, and feeling that gratitude that, yeah, I do deserve all these things in my life.
Man. Oh, waterfowl. Sorry, y'all. Hey, it's authentic. That happened. Man, that's cool that you say that, man. And you mentioned flow, and it's crazy how just two dudes, totally different. You older white dude, me younger black dude, both fathers though now, and two different beginnings, but we on the same path, and we just got there a little different, because I'm listening to you talk, and I'm thinking back like, yo, I can remember when, honestly, to me, abundance, like for the longest time, just meant more money. Mm-hmm. Because most of my childhood, I didn't even know I was poor. Yeah, I didn't, because everybody around me was like that. So the only thing I knew once I learned the word abundance was, oh, well, shit, that means more. I need more money to change the situation around me. And it was always money, 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 money. And then in the love area, coming up in the streets, it was totally different. More money, more. And I needed that, trying to get more, just in every area. Just, I got it. But it was all attached to money. I need money for this. In order to be spiritual, to probably go on a pilgrimage somewhere, I got to have the money. And it was all tied to it. But now, man, coming to a totally different place, almost a complete 180, it's, to me, in my life now, just flow. Mm-hmm. Just a balance, just a flow in and a flow out. not even around money, but in whatever, like how you say, man, all the areas of my life, I have to get to a point of where I'm not just giving, where I'm being more abundant to others, or where I'm just taking, seeking more abundance from others. But it's because everything is everywhere. Once I'm just in perfect flow, it just, more love comes. But I have to be in the flow of love. More money is going to come, just like that conversation. I just have to get in alignment where I need to be, to where it's not an overwhelming thought, really. Just, man, spirituality, all of those. And it's crazy how we took two different paths, and although it's said differently, we just, bam, in that same little lane. And there's a lot of people out there like that, you know?
I was just thinking while you're sharing, and thank you for that. That was awesome. Just, about the simplicity of air, right? Just the abundance of air that's available to us to breathe. And, I guess just taking that step back in our life to where, yeah, money is great. Love is great. All these things that I was, sharing, but also, the abundance that fills of air, that fills our lungs, that allows us to breathe, that allows us to take that next breath, that, allows us to live. I'm curious for you, when you look back in your life and you've gone through this transformation from, darkness, periods of your life where you look back upon and have really grown from, was there a point in your life where you kind of felt a shift of this opportunity for abundance for you, or has it just kind of evolved as it has, just with that uncertainty of what life might? Is there, I guess what I'm asking, is there something you did or something you experienced that opened up that willingness or opportunity or awareness around flow, the abundance that you're now experiencing in your life?
Like, if I was to look back, man, I can key in on certain times where I probably felt like that. And going through it, I didn't really notice it because it was probably just one of those, I was like, oh, well, you're getting older and you're getting wiser. One of those, like, I'm not, maybe when I was 20, once I was around 27, getting close to 30, I wasn't just trying to go and blow money or do all of this. So I was looking at stuff different. And I can remember when I wrote a poem and I saw the anger in it, and I felt real bad for some of the words I was glad that I said it, but I was mad that, I put that out there about my daddy, and so now I wanted to change that. I wanted more love in that area, and that was just at a different time. I was a lot older, so just a combination of things. But honestly, man, I think it all, even now, man, I mean, it's just starting to make sense since I, started studying as a coach, honestly. Because now I'm, all these tools, and I'm able to look back and it's like, oh shit, all right, this was an area, but, like back then, I mean, honestly, dude, until that surgery, man, I was in it. To me, I thought I was in it. Now, man, I'm living in the moment because I had experienced having a lot of money, and having a lot of friends. All of that travel, like, boom, from the drug world and military, all of that. So at that point, in that stage of my life, when I was really probably old enough to really pay attention to stuff, I was not thinking, like, oh, it's the weekend. Okay, yeah, I'm 30, but I'm finna party like a 30-year-old. All right, cool, whatever. Like, You only get one life. Fuck it.
Right.
Boom. Sit down, son. Deal with your heart. Think about your life. And then that's when it hit me like a ton of bricks, really. Like a couple of hours before they rolled me up. That's damn. That's probably the first time I really put it out there like that. I appreciate that question, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and people in our life, right? Those that we love, those that we depend upon, those that we think that are our friends. Um, how are they impacting, or how are they opening up our eyes to abundance, right? It's like, because we want to surround ourselves. We want to do that for others, right? We want to make, we have this impactful life, and we want to coach, an individual or a group, or just be a friend and connect at a deeper level and be able to invite them into the abundance of life, right? Things that you may not even think you're worthy of, due to, somebody in their life telling them, you're never going to do that. Why would you even dream that big? That's not even possible. Why would you even consider that? And oftentimes those are the people that we're like, oh, well, I guess if that person that's so important to me is telling me that, I guess it's true, right? It's hard as we grow up, unless we have those people in our life that are stepping up and saying, no, that's, abundance is available to everybody. There's nobody on this earth that's not worthy of abundance. I think that's the, I guess, the truth for me is there's nobody that I feel. I mean, obviously you can look at all the different individuals in the world and say, well, gosh, that guy doesn't deserve abundance, or she sure the hell doesn't. But, if you went back in time to when each and every one of those individuals that we may not think are worthy of that, one time they were a young child, they were born into this world. They experienced some sort of, newness and uncertainty, and no memories, and no, all this data that we collect and establish who we are and what we want to be, feel is important in our life, and these values and beliefs and all these things that come as a result of that. That's what I'm just thinking, that each and every person on this earth, through the birth process, is worthy of abundance. So, I think knowing that we have these conversations or connections with people in our life, and sharing that with individuals, you the listener, who are you inspiring in your life, if you've already achieved that, or you're moving in that direction of understanding and looking for more abundance in all areas of your life. Who are the people you're looking to connect with? I mean, who are the friends in your life that may need to hear from you, and give them the okay, right? It's like, yeah, you're worthy of that. Yeah, step into that. It's like, I'm here to tell you that you don't need, like Greg was showing, he has this card from Eric Nooner, and it says, permission granted. So Eric was going around giving these cards out. I think it was at the Mastery Retreat. And it's like, how awesome is that? Just to give somebody a card that says, permission granted. It's like, if we could just tell those people in our lives, or tell ourselves, permission granted to take in all the things that we feel are possible for us, in the sense of abundanceness. Is that a word? Abundanceness?
We can make it a word.
We're not supposed to be English majors here. We're just dudes.
Right.
But just that, that whole willingness to kind of take that step back and really come from that place, right? It's like, yeah, you are worthy of that. Everybody deserves to have that abundance. And again, who are you not to be that person that incites or inspires others to feel that as well?
Right.
I mean, as a father now, how do you, when you try to, kind of, I wouldn't say coach your son or guide your son, it's like, be that man that you want him to experience. It's like, you want him to experience abundance, but yet you want him to have those life lessons of not experiencing things at a point where they become like it's an expected thing that they have. That's like that appreciation for what I'm able to experience, right? It's just not a given. I mean, I think when we look at abundance, it's not just like a given that we're going to get money is going to come our direction. It's not a given that we're going to receive love. We have to be open to it. We have to be willing to express it and share it and understand the dynamics of it. So I'm just interested for you, Ced, when this whole topic of abundance came up, and you being a father and having a young son and wanting so many things for him as a result of what you've experienced. I'm just curious where you're at with that. No specific question, but just how that sits with you about creating abundance for your son.
Man, I would have to be honest. Like, man, I gotta be, because that's one I still deal with, because there was a lot of programming I had around money. So, like, one of my big things is, and I really wouldn't say that's around abundance, man. Let me slow down.
Slow down, baby. Pump the brakes.
So I'll say it like this, man. When I look at him and I think about abundance in his life and how I feel like the only thing that I have to truly give him, well, two things probably, is love, unconditional love, and unbiased lessons about life.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want him to be abundant with the wisdom that I pass down to him. Mm-hmm. And to really understand the simple, for me, how I am now. And this is me answering this question in 2019. I'm sure it'll probably change. But right now, it's one of those where in order for him, no matter what area he wants anything, he can have it and have it more abundantly than he presently has it. But he needs to be the person that he needs to be in order to have that. So there's nothing wrong with you wanting $1 million. Have everything else in order, come from a place of love, but can you handle $1 million? You want love, but can you be loving? You want to find the spirituality, but can you be spiritual? So that's the only thing that I want him to be abundant in with my teachings and what I can leave behind, honestly. So he can have whatever he wants, because hell, here I am, 40 years old, still in the in the whole grand scheme of things, in the beginning stages on the battlefield. I want him to know this when he 12. You know what I'm saying? When he Anthony's age, you know?
And I think, as a father, it's something that I've been trying to be more mindful of is just creating that space, right? Not just with Messiah, not just with Anthony, not just the young boys in our life, but just in general, right? Spaciousness around our thoughts. That sense of, when we think about abundance, you can think about just unlimited opportunity, unlimited, energy, unlimited, space, right? The space that we sometimes pack so tight into our life, right? It's like, I'm a human being, I'm on this earth, I'm in this room, I'm, all these things that are limiting to a certain, point versus just that, just getting a little deep here, but just that whole experience of how we exist within the big scope of just the universe, right? Just this open space that this space that we fill outside of us. And how does that feel? How do we feel when we look at this whole willingness to create more space and opportunities and growth and abundance in our life, I'm just thinking about how, as fathers, as husbands, as boyfriends, as brothers, that we can just be, right? Just like with your son, just, that the more and more you can create space around, like just letting him be at times, and then, kind of giving him some insight and some, some thoughts around things to consider, and then just creating more space around that to where he just becomes more and more open and feels that unlimitedness of things that at a young age, right? And I think that's what I, more and more aware of with Anthony is, my quick reactions to things, in the past, and sometimes still in the present. But just being willing just to kind of sit, right? Just take that breath in and just take that conversation in, take in that experience, just create that openness in a conversation that where we don't feel like we have to react. And maybe there's something that we need to share at some point, but maybe just that willingness, just kind of breathe through it and understand that breath and the air and the space and the whole big picture of our existence, on this planet.
Yeah.
And
man, that's great. And I think that's what we need, especially as fathers, man, because I'm sitting here like, yo, that's exactly what we need to do as men, and raise up other men, and not to society's definition of a man, but just letting them understand, hey, you can be, because man, parents, we got it hard when it comes to that right now, because we fighting against the internet, TV, Netflix, music, it's already available, and especially around this abundance thing, because I know I was jaded, and I see it all around me. Everybody, and not just hip hop icons or whatever, celebrities, but we see it, and we want abundance based on different groups that we see, you know. But I think one of the problems is a lot of people don't know how to just be and be you. And that's why I'm like, man, that's so great. And like, just even hearing you talk about it and say it and me saying it, I just feel just so at peace. Like, all right, just be. Breathe, man. Now I'm not saying like, don't go out there but
I think we have a tendency to say, well, life just goes by so fast. It's like almost that idea that, we're up against time, right? That the time is fleeting. Like, we've got this bank account of time, and we're not managing it correctly, or we're losing time, or we're not going to be as effective. We're not going to be able to check all the boxes. And that distracts from the whole idea of abundance, right? I mean, what is time really? I mean, yeah, we've got a clock on the wall that tells us what time it is. We see the sun come up and down every day and gives us a reference of time. But in the big picture, there is no past, there is no future. It's just the moment, right? It's like what I just said has already passed. What I just thought has already passed. Yet, how many things do we do in our life where we just hold on to those things, right? And I think that distracts from our ability to understand and appreciate and yearn for abundance. Because that's the abundance, for me, is in the moment, right? Most of the things that we want to experience, that we feel that euphoria, the excitement comes in the moment. I mean, it's, we don't oftentimes feel that, that sense of completeness at a later date. It's like, it's happening now to me. I'm feeling this sense of abundance now. It's not a future past or past tense feeling. It's in the moment. So I think that's, for me, that's my work, right? It's, you know, it's my willingness to, you know, understand, appreciate, value, and be open to, as a basic human right, to experience abundance.
Yeah.
You the listener. I mean, where in your life do you feel like you're not worthy of something that's much greater than you could ever anticipate experiencing in your life, around money, around love, around all these things we've been talking about? Where are you holding back and not thinking, or somebody telling you that's not possible for you? You know, you're not capable of that. You know, it's too hard for, you know, I didn't do it, so what makes you think you could do it?
Yeah, man. And I'm like, if that is you, ask yourself, what can I do differently?
Yeah.
Like, what do you want? And like how Wanda said last week, like, who are you choosing to be? Who are you being in that moment? Who do you want to be? That person that's just not even wanting it, like just thinking about abundance, or the person that's bold enough to just allow it, you know, because it's a bold step just to let go and let the world flow in. That's,
and to have that true belief that I'm worthy of it, right?
yes.
Nobody else is going to tell me what I'm worthy or not worthy of. That's my choice. I'm not going to give you my power for you to tell me I'm not worthy of something. So I need to take my power back. My knowing must be that I'm worthy of abundance in my life. And maybe those are little steps that, you know, that we take, right? I've taken little steps. Cedric, you've taken, you know, we've all taken various steps in our life, small or big, that hopefully move us forward. And it's a process, right? You know, as we're speaking here to you, the listener, I mean, this is work in progress for us. We have these conversations, we, you know, have these realizations here, we end the conversation, and then life happens, right? You know, it's not just about having this outward dialogue, putting these words, you know, into this screen and sharing it with you, and then we walk away and just don't act. We don't take control of our life. We don't, you know, create the change that we want. And I think that's where the rubber hits the road, right? It's like, do the hard work, step up, show up for yourself. You know, how do you wake up in the morning? You wake up in the morning feeling like that anything's possible today, or is it like, well, I sure hope this doesn't happen. Sure hope that doesn't happen. It's like, it's this whole, right, this whole mindset that we have to step into. So, wow, thank you so much for bringing this topic up, man. I could talk for another couple hours.
I know, right? This a juicy one, dude. We might have to have abundance part 2 or something. Who knows, man? This was I hope y'all enjoyed, man. I hope something was said that could touch your mind, touch your heart. Like, man.
And share a little bit about, also just before we forget, we've opened up a Facebook page for the Man Cave, and we're going to be putting some different things in there and inviting people in, and maybe doing some live Facebook discussions on there as well. And I know we've talked over the last couple of years about just opportunities that we're looking to step into. We've had a few good guests coming in, and if you're the listener out there that's like, God, I would love to just take that chance and tell Ron and Sed that I want to come in and speak with them, or have a conversation about a topic that's burning for you. Step up, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Throw it out there, whether it's something you want to come on and talk to us about, or just throw a topic out there that you'd love to have us discuss or talk about, whatever that might be, because we're going to continue at this. there's no stopping us at this point. It's only up and out from here. But we always want to keep that open space for you that may be like really wanting to share something about something you're struggling with your life, or just something that's just spectacular, this abundant feeling that you experience, and bringing that into the conversation, and allowing us to maybe be a part of that conversation. So
yeah, that's always an open door to the cave, man. Yeah. Well, one, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and subscribe to the Man Cave. If you haven't already, I don't know what you're waiting on. No, for real, click it. But no, if you do have Facebook, you on there. We do have a Facebook. It's a work in progress. The Man Kave Experience. You can find it. We're gonna be doing some pretty cool stuff. Don't necessarily know how it's gonna roll out, but again, it's a work in progress. Whatever comes from the heart, whatever feels authentic, we gonna roll with it. But yeah, man, join us over there. Man, we got some stuff in the pipes. We got more guests coming. Yeah, man.
loving it, man. Loving everything we're putting out there for us, for you, the listener, for the universe, right? I mean, this is timeless. And I think we have talked about this, whether it was here in one of our episodes or just Seth and I talking on the side. This is something we're putting out there for our sons to listen to for the rest of their lives, and maybe their sons. It's like, how cool is that for us to, kind of put this parts of us out into the universe without any type of worry about judgment or nothing but love and appreciation for the fact that we do that for each other. So,
man, I love you, man. I love you. I love y'all. How we know he's coming? That's pretty cool, man. So y'all again.
Put my glasses on to end it, but I love each and every one of you, the listeners. Said love you for sure, and I look forward to our next conversation here in the cave.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all have a good one. See y'all next week.
Namaste, y'all.
Namaste.